Yeah.
Can't be yawning when we're starting the pod, sir.
I'm tired.
Yeah, you've been going crazy, but welcome to Lindemann Outdoors. We're back. One of us is tagged out in the state of that rhymes with not Minnesota. I should make a shirt that says that. I think it'd make a lot of Dakotans proud. Not Minnesota. It sounds like North or South Dakota.
The shape of the state on the shirt, the outline, and not
Yep.
Minnesota.
I think that'd be a good one. But anyways, we're here to talk about our hunt and how I, yet again, could not wait for a large buck to come into my path. And maybe I was set up on a scrape with, like 20 trees with rubs on them and does coming to this field and a week before the rut and all these things. But
Yeah, it's a hot take, all right. Shoot a doe at the peak of the pre-rut.
But if this doe didn't want to die, she wouldn't have came in perfectly. She wouldn't have not seen me, not smelled me, stood 18 yards away from me, broadside this, like with her 1 foot step forward, just exposing the pump house. If she wanted to live, she shouldn't have done that. And that's her fault. And now she's in my freezer.
It's her fault she's made of deer meat that I wanted.
Yeah, it's not my fault that she was delicious. With some homemade mashed potatoes and cooked carrots and butter.
They shouldn't be made out of deer meat.
They shouldn't be made out of venison. If you don't want to die, don't be delicious. That's what I'm saying.
Don't be made out of meat.
But yes, I've put my North Dakota bow tag on a nice doe instead of waiting for a buck. That probably would have showed up that night.
You're the old guy that says you can't eat the antlers.
You can't, but they are nice to look at.
Jacob's 82 years old.
Am I regretting it? Not one bit. Do I wish I would have done things differently? Not at all. Would I do it again? Hell yes, I would.
We call him Buckshot, not because he shoots a lot of bucks, because he's got 3 holes in his stomach that looks like he was shot with buckshot.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
when you shoot a fair number of bucks, you would shoot a lot bigger bucks if you could hold out.
Like I said, on my way when I dropped you off at your spot, on my way to my spot, I'm like, well, I hope that nice big one steps out first.
It did not.
It didn't. It didn't step out first. I told you first it steps out. I can only go so long without sending a broadhead through a deer. Otherwise, I start getting weird. I start getting twitchy.
Itchy.
I get itchy. Just nothing. I don't sleep well. I gotta send one through the pump house, and it was a nice doe. She came out. She did the thing. I smoked it. And also, I shot it from the ground in the ghillie suit in a Yoda hut that we built. Perfectly for a buck to come check out a scrape. But this doe came to the scrape instead.
A little bit. We got to back up here because...
We'll back up.
You just doing a whole bunch of stuff without explaining anything.
That's true. So let's break it down. So we found an alfalfa field that was bright green, late October. Deer just like bright green things, fresh. They can get a lot of nutrients from it. So we go in there, check this out. We grab all our stuff. We grab sticks and we grab stabs and we carry all this in there and we get there and we're like finding scrapes, we're finding rubs, we're finding good spots, and so we start looking for a tree and we can't find a tree. And many hunters know this. Sometimes you find a perfect spot, there's not a tree. Ground blinds are nice, they work, but this is kind of
Actually, I hate ground blinds.
Yeah.
Now you're like, hey, but there's a ground blind over your right shoulder where
that's turkeys.
You are holding turkeys. Now, a turkey does not care about a ground blind at all.
It doesn't.
Not at all. They'll walk right. I mean, we've had them brush beside them. They don't care.
Yeah.
Now, you see this black hole that's, if I point back to here, you see this black hole thing?
Yep.
When a deer steps out of the woods and they see that,
they don't love that.
It freaks them out.
Yep.
They do not like the black hole.
They sit there and they do this.
So what we've started to do, I hate to give away our secrets,
but I think it'll help people. And we call it the Yoda hut.
No, back up, Jacob. You're too far. I'm
too far.
You sit there and be quiet for a while. You can
get too excited.
Next week for the 2 weeks when I'm gone on my vacation. But ladies and gentlemen, you will not see me for 3 weeks or until I get tagged out. So enjoy this episode. I was forced to come in from the woods to do this one. But
Yep.
let's back up here. Now, as we said, the deer, your ground blinds, you can't hardly brush them in enough. You still get the black hole effect. They don't like them. Now, I know there's people that still shoot deer out of ground blinds, but we're talking bow hunting and we're talking, it's close quarters. There's just something about them they don't like. Now, what we noticed when we were turkey hunting, when we'd be sitting on the ground,
shotguns, and
we'd have turkey decoys out. The deer would walk right up to our turkey decoys and walk right up to us and be 5 yards away from us, and not even care. So then we started using ghillie suits when we were turkey hunting because, even better to blend in.
Yep.
And same thing with deer. Deer will walk right by you. Now they'll see you can't move. A deer will pick off your movement. So then what Jacob's referring to as the Yoda hut is what we do is we build natural ground blinds. We built one time that looked exactly like Yoda's little house that he lived in the sloughs.
I'll pop it up.
Yep, in the sloughs of Dagobah on the Star Wars movie, a little Yoda hut. And a deer walked by there 4 yards from there, and Jacob's mom arrowed that thing.
Yeah, and that one was even, we dug down.
Yep.
We dug a hole.
It was pretty legit.
Yep.
And a lot like you, she shot the first little buck that walked by instead of waiting for a bigger one that was there. But whatever. Yeah. I don't know when you two.
I don't know when I'll start waiting, but it ain't today.
It ain't probably gonna be ever, but that's all right. Now, so like we were saying, we went in there, couldn't find a straight tree.
The straight ones were this big around, and the big ones were.
Trees that were there were twisted and hanging. And if someone has a way to hang a stand on a crooked tree, or there's a company that those ones that you can level and they actually work good, let me know. But they don't work so good when you're 300 pounds and 6'4" because our center of gravity wants to rip us out of the tree all the time.
Yeah.
So, and even in a saddle, it keeps wanting to swing you around to the one tree.
Yeah, you want
to
fall off the edge.
To sit there because you're fighting that the whole night. But so anyway, what we found out is, and we've seen, the hunting public has done this as well. People used to hunt from the ground all the time before.
Yeah.
It's nothing that's new, but we've developed a system that we'll find a new area, and the first time we go in there, we don't bring stands, we don't bring the saddles, we don't bring anything. We go in light. We bring in either a seating pad or, one of those little tri-fold double bowl folding chairs, and then we just go in there and try to sit where you can see. And, kind of an observation sit to see how the deer, if there's deer there, how they move through their areas they like. And then try to find yourself a little, kind of scouting and hunting at the same time. Would that be skunting?
Skunting or hooting or howling? Skunting or howling?
We don't know.
I like skunting. Patent pended.
We'll use skunting. So anyway, we'll go skunt into an area and figure out the lay of the land and then
how the deer move through there. And
right. And we've set up a few ground blinds here the last few years that you can shoot deer out of.
They're killer. And the deer, this doe, when she came into my shooting lane, she actually looked and she goes, nothing there. And then she was calm. Yeah. Or much calmer.
But here's why. Here's the key. A lot of people will try to set that ground blind right up on the edge of the field they're hunting or the trail or whatever. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Set back a ways. So you might have to shoot 25 yards or you might have to shoot 30 yards.
Or 40.
Right. You need to be hidden. You need to be able to draw your bow. We had another spot out there. I had deer out in front of me. I could have killed every one of them.
Oh, yeah. And it's almost like, and shooting a deer out of a tree stand is cool because you're still close with a bow. But even on the ground, it's even just like more thrilling because you're at eye level with them. And so we built this. Actually, it's a perfect setup, really. It was about 12 yards into the woods off the edge of this field. And it was under a giant fallen down tree. And so we
happened to be overlooking a scrape about the size of a car.
Yeah, it was a huge community scrape. And I'm sure I'm sure I could have waited probably another hour and a buck would have showed up, but that didn't happen.
That makes both of us.
Didn't happen. Anyway, and we brushed these in like insane, like overkill, total overkill in the brushing.
Well, you can't
You can't even underkill it.
You have to shoot through natural holes. Now
Yeah.
those don't appear like a black hole like a ground blind does.
Yep.
They see those all the time as they're walking through the woods. As daylight comes in.
Yep. And what you do is you give yourself 1, 2, 3 if it's a good if your spot allows you, just tiny little lanes to shoot out of. And I think a lot of people try, especially when they're doing bow stands and stuff, they go mow down an entire path to that trail or to that food plot. You don't need, that's just gonna leave you open for deer to spot you. Shoot through a small hole. You only need this much to shoot through.
Mm-hmm.
Make a small lane. An arrow's that thick. You don't need to have a driveway to shoot through.
That's correct.
So we set up this Yoda hut, and
overlooking a giant community scrape, which should have been lights out. I mean, we had buck pictures.
Yeah.
It was the area is fantastic. We've seen
you hunted there once before. You'd seen a bunch of bucks.
Yeah.
Small ones, medium ones, big ones, lots of does.
But Jacob decides that, oh no, we're not waiting for those.
Well, this doe also came where I wasn't expecting it to.
This doe was looking at me funny. She had a weird look in her eye.
And she came in quietly, just snuck in. I grabbed my bow. And
why would she come in quiet?
I hesitated for negative 30 seconds.
I thought it was a shapeshifter.
I don't even like to tell you that I thought about this in the moment. I'm like, oh, should I take the deer? No.
There was no thought.
I had enough thought to turn the GoPro on that was facing me and facing the one direction out into the field where I thought the deer were going to come from. But she came from this little side patch where we cut a small lane. So I was like, I turned on, I drawed back. She took a step forward. I sent it, and I smoked her.
It was
right through the pump house. Great shot.
Shot placement was excellent.
Yeah, probably one of my best shot placements on an animal besides turkeys.
The rack was a little small on this deer.
The rack was non-existent. It was a nice doe, but she tasted good, and she just she shouldn't have came in that direction. If she would have came out from the field edge and was out there for a while, and I had to wait for her to get into bow range, but she popped up at 18 yards in my clearing. That's her fault.
Yep, that's her fault.
I cannot be blamed for this doe stepping within bow range and presenting me with a super ethical, super clean, super close shot. I shot her. She ran 40 yards into the woods, tipped over dead. Didn't even know I hit her. My arrow zipped right through her, buried itself in the dirt. It was a perfect hunt. I was done hunting by people are going to be upset about this, but I was done hunting about 5:45 and had another hour, a half hour, 45 minutes till the sun went down. So I had an hour to shoot still. So the deer started moving early, and that was her fault.
That was the deer's fault. What are you doing moving early?
You shouldn't be coming in my shooting lane if you're not going to get one. I'm just saying, it's just, and that brings us, to our main topic here is that you got to hunt your hunt. Don't let anybody, even your dad, let you feel bad for sending one loose through the pump house on a nice, healthy doe.
That I didn't try to make you feel bad.
You didn't, but you're throwing a little shade because Mr. Big Buck Hunter over here.
I'm just saying that, it might.
I could have waited.
You could have waited.
I could have waited.
A little premature to shoot a doe.
A little premature, sure. But also, this fall
I would have waited at least a little closer to dark, perhaps. But you don't know. You wouldn't have got your opportunity.
You don't, and all the other deer might have not gotten close. A big buck might not come into that scrape. We don't know. No one will ever know because it didn't.
Maybe that was a doe scrape.
Maybe it was a doe scrape.
Making a scrape. She's out there trying to attract.
Yeah. These does are out here just making scrapes, and this doe came right to the scrape.
A scrape is like Tinder for people.
Yeah.
So, they're out there just swiping right. on Tinder, trying to get a big old buck to come in there.
Yeah, but that's her fault for putting herself in that situation for me to make a good shot.
Well, it's her fault that she was made out of deer meat.
Yeah, that's true. But I got my heart pumping. It made me happy. I was pumped.
You were.
I made a good shot. God blessed me with an opportunity, and I took it.
Yeah. Now, I prefer that opportunity if you're going to shoot a doe to come either early or late season, and then like Saturday morning, so you have all day to cut up the deer um, and stuff like that. Not Saturday
That wasn't
evening right before bed and supper.
that wasn't the opportunity that was given to me.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes you have to pass an opportunity to get another one. But you know what? Like we said, you're happy. That's all that matters. You got food for your family. You made a nice shot, nice recovery. Good for you.
I got my family in on the experience of processing the deer.
Mm-hmm.
I had the kids labeling and throwing away scraps, and the wife was packaging it, and it was a great experience. We ate it the next day. We ate the deer for supper. And I think we looked at the time. It was like exactly 24 hours from when I shot the deer to eating it.
Out there getting groceries.
It doesn't get better than that, and that's the great part about hunting is you get to hunt your hunt. You get to decide what you want to shoot, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. It's not everybody has a ton of time, and not everybody has vacation they can take, and a lot of people time is limited. And if they're happy to go out there and shoot a doe or a fork buck, and good for them.
Now, if I was using a crossbow, this would be a completely different story.
Crossbow.
No, you can use whatever weapon you want. You just might be judged for it. I'm not saying I'll judge you.
If you're a wuss, you can use a crossbow.
But other people might be judging you.
Like we've said before, if you got a bad shoulder and you can't draw a bow, or you're old, by all means, use a crossbow.
Yeah, if you're able, go out there. You can shoot whatever you want. Just use a bow, a real bow.
Yeah, crossbows are gonna ruin Minnesota's archery season.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's just we don't need to get into it.
Yeah, we do. There's people that they want to hear this.
But no, I've had some people were like, you didn't want to wait for a buck, you didn't want to do this, you didn't. No, I wanted to eat the bitch. I'll bleep that out.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, but I get offended by people saying that I can't eat deer the way I want to eat deer. Defensive, whatever. I'm dyslexic. But it's her fault. She shouldn't have been there. A big buck should have been there, and he wasn't. So it's his fault as well. He lived another day. She didn't.
Yeah.
People are like, well, why'd you shoot a doe? Because I wanted to, and it was tasty. And you need to shoot does. The buck to doe ratio pretty much everywhere is terrible.
Yeah, not enough people shoot does.
And I got a buddy. We're going to have him on here soon. Shout out Ryan. He's out hunting right now all day because he had bucks popping up on 2:30 in the afternoon. And he's like, do you think I should take off work? He's new to the sport, so we give him some graces.
Yes.
But I'm like, yeah, go tell your boss you're not showing up today. So he's out there right now. Hopefully he'll get one. Actually, I just got a Snapchat from him. Let's see if he got one.
Have you seen any deer?
Oh, maybe we should talk about this. Because he just had, and Ryan's doing it right. He listened to me, and he's hunting in a ground blind, but he's all black. Black hoodie, black face mask. He's blacked out, which is, if you're going to do it, that's the best way to do it.
What are we talking about? Everybody loves
Well, he just sent me, this is live and uncut. Here, some guy just walked past him carrying a rifle. This is bow season still.
An actual rifle?
That's what I asked. My deer rifle? Or was it a shotgun?
Was this, not to be racist, but what color was this feller? Because, well, sometimes we get, visitors to this country that don't quite understand the rules of, they think because it's hunting season that they can take whatever weapon they want out there because they're not from this country.
Yeah.
No, I have that dude on, one of those guys on trail camera as well.
Old guy, no camo.
Yeah.
Just a tan Carhartt and a rifle.
Depends what kind of rifle. Is it a 22?
Yeah.
Is he checking traps, maybe? Trapping season out there, too. Apparently skunks are worth some money this year if you can.
Skunks are worth some money.
Yeah.
Interesting. But
you can tough it out.
Like I was saying, Ryan's, he was like, he had a spike buck come by today, and he's never shot a deer in his life.
Why didn't he shoot that thing?
Yeah, well, he did draw back on it, but it hurt him draw. Because he's like, yeah, I was just standing there.
Ryan, you got to draw a little sooner.
Yep, that's why and he's learning, and he'll tell you that. And he's like, I'm like, was the deer's head up? He's like, yeah, I was looking at me. I'm like, yep, can't draw when they're looking at you, even if you're well camoed. They see movement. But anyways, he was asking me, why did you shoot a doe? I'm like, well,
because Jacob gets so fired up when something steps in front of him that
it's been my entire life. I've had the opportunity to shoot some nice bucks, and I've had my opportunity to be presented with a nice deer in my lane, and whatever. But when any deer gets in bow range, it just gets my heart pumping, and I just can't help myself.
I'm not sure. And Jacob's mom met Fred Eichler, so I'm gonna have a paternity test done.
Fred Eichler and Ted Nugent are my idols in the bow hunting world.
So they are.
They just shoot stuff because they can. I'm not saying I'm like some maniac and I like to shoot things just to kill them.
No, you like to shoot things because you like to eat them.
I do. Everything I shoot, I eat. It's why I don't go duck hunting or goose hunting, because I like things that taste good.
Yeah, hard to make them taste good.
Yeah. Venison. I'm going to try a new recipe. I'm going to try and put a roast in a crock pot and make kind of like a stew. I mean, it'll work.
Sure, it'll work.
Some beef broth, some potatoes, some carrots, some onion, some celery. Let it go on low forever. It's gonna be delicious. I'm really excited to try that. And also, this might be a little out there, but I'm gonna try and make my own bread and make myself a venison, a mushroom and Swiss, a little patty melt. Also my goal. I didn't grow the onion or the mushroom, but I'm gonna try and make everything from scratch from the deer I killed. And that's another thing. People need to be more okay with going out and killing a doe and filling your freezer. And then these new hunters, you don't need to go shoot a big buck. You don't need to go pass 120s and 130s. And I passed a 150 this season. How many deer have you actually killed? I haven't killed enough, and I've killed over 20. Not even close. I haven't killed any close deer enough to make myself I'd say to make myself, I've done my part. I've killed enough deer. I can go hunt the big boys. No, you gotta get some deer under your belt. You gotta get some good shots. So you gotta get some experience. You gotta get good at killing deer before you can get good at killing big deer.
You do, because otherwise, if you don't have the system down, you're gonna screw up when the big buck comes in.
Yeah, and when I was younger, I've had some big bucks walk in front of me, and I messed up. Because you don't, it's like, oh shit, there's a big buck. What do I do?
Yeah, you won't draw at the right time. You won't.
Yeah, you get all, buck fever is good. It means you're excited about it, or I call it deer fever because every deer that steps out gets my heart pumping. But if you're not used to being in those situations and making good shots on deer up close or far away or whatever, it's just you're not gonna be successful when that big one steps out. And that. I mean, you've killed thousands of smaller bucks, and I'm exaggerating a bit, of course, and multiple doe. We had a thing called the Pale of Shame from your younger age.
Yeah, when I first started, if it was a legal buck and I was bow hunting, it was gonna get an arrow.
But I think that's important.
It is.
And that's we're out here to, like God said, just go out and hunt game and control over all the beasts of the land, and we got mad at them and conservation, and do your part. Don't eat tag soup. Eat venison dinner. That's all I have to say on that subject.
Yeah, there's no reason for tag soup when you can shoot a doe.
Yeah, shoot a big doe.
I'm actually happy that you shot a doe versus shooting a smaller buck, to be honest with you.
Well, that's another thing. Mm-hmm. Go put your buck tag on a doe instead of shooting some rinky dink that's going to grow into a big boy someday.
Yeah, you can shoot some does that'll be bigger than a yearling buck.
And this, I definitely killed bigger does, but this one gave me a good shot, and she was the first one on the field. That was her fault. But it was also, I don't shoot does that have fawns. I don't shoot does that are with, yearlings or whatever that could, look like they're good, mothers or breeding does. This one was all by herself. She was a dry doe. I obviously I learned that after the fact when I went up and got her, but she was all, usually if a doe is all by herself and kind of lonely and nothing else, it's usually a good one to take.
She was an ugly doe.
She was ugly. She was like a 4 or maybe a 5.
Her face was ugly. She was ugly. She couldn't find a buck. Ugly doe. Not a beautiful doe, but an ugly doe.
But yeah. Go out there, hunt your hunt, do what you gotta do, make yourself happy. Jeremy, how's your hunting going so far?
Terrible. It's the trouble with holding out for a big buck.
That's
Could I have shot bucks? Yes. Would they have been small? Yes.
yes.
Could I have shot does? Yes. But unfortunately for me, I have monster bucks on trail cameras.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
No. So I can't bring myself to shoot a smaller one when
Just
I'm
quite yet.
out there.
And you got till January 1st,
You
which
do.
is I always thought was weird. And I was looking because I love reading the regulations and the rules because sometimes you can find interesting stuff. And Minnesota season ends on December 31st. North and South Dakota bow season ends on January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
They start, different days, but like it's weird how you can hunt one more day in the Dakotas versus the Minnesotas.
One more reason that the Dakotas are better. But people, you can't come here.
Nope.
No deer
We're
tags.
full.
Yep, population's full.
Yep, we reached our max capacity we reached the carrying capacity for the biodiversity and biological
Yep.
health of the area.
If some people pass away or
Move away.
we'll let you know.
You can leave a comment, give us your resume on why you'd like to move to the Dakotas, and we'll see if you're allowed. If you're from the metropolitan area, I apologize. You better be a pretty good resume compared to a rural citizen.
Stay home. There's no pheasants. There's no ducks. Actually, there is. I can't believe the amount of out-of-state hunters that are here to try to hunt what few pheasants and ducks we have.
It's insane. We saw.
We had. Now, everyone, listen. 2 years ago, there was a really bad winter here, or maybe even 3 years ago now, that there was like 6 feet of snow. It killed all the birds. They're just now starting to come back. So people, I would wait, a few years or lower your expectation. You don't need to shoot your limit every time. Go out and shoot one, shoot two.
Yeah.
Minnesota limits 2, you should shoot 1 probably for a while. South Dakota and North Dakota limits 3. Yeah, maybe just shoot 1 or 2, call it good.
Yeah.
Shoot 1 a day.
And it's just, I get it. We live where there's good duck hunting and good, bird hunting and stuff. But we were hunting. We saw Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, Indiana, California,
West Virginia,
We saw Mississippi. We saw, did I say Mississippi? Yeah, I saw Mississippi.
Back to back.
Nebraska, Montana. And I get it. But
like the Montana and the Nebraska people, I'll give you a pass.
Sure, they're just coming up or over to meet the flock.
Yep, and everybody goes to your states to hunt. But
that's true.
Wisconsin people, I don't know what you guys are doing.
We see a lot of Wisconsin bow hunters coming over. Like there's huge bucks in Wisconsin. There's tons of deer in Wisconsin.
Solid woods. The real secret is Wisconsin. Everybody should move there.
Yeah, there are.
But woods and lakes and beautiful countryside and monster deer and turkeys and fish and.
Yeah.
The Wisconsin people keep it secret. They don't want you to know.
I don't know how they do it, and they keep all the influencers, you will, or the TV people, and you never, it's always.
I don't know why they don't go to Wisconsin. There's more Boone and Crockett entries for Wisconsin than there is Iowa.
Yeah, Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan, up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. The UP. There's tons of deer there. There's tons of deer. There's tons of bucks. I'm sure tons of grouse and turkeys. And
almost time for us to watch the moonlight over Escanaba. Escanaba in the moonlight.
Which is funny that you said that, because the last time we watched that, we doubled up on 2 nice 8-pointers the next morning.
Dang it. That was the magic.
Maybe that's the magic. That's a I don't even know what the word is, but I don't think people even understand or have ever seen that movie.
Up in space. They shook me up in the chute.
Say the name of that movie loud and clear for the world.
It's Escanaba in the Moonlight.
When he was showing me it, I was like, what the hell is this movie? And about 10 minutes in, I was like, this is one of the funniest hunting shack movies ever. You need to watch it at deer camp.
Makes fun of deer hunting a little bit, some of the superstitions and
yeah. Or do they like drink some concoction that's like
or something.
It's like deer piss, pine syrup, and there's something else. It's just like a bunch of concoction.
And they get visited by aliens and
yep, it's funny.
One of them gets abducted. Car breaks down.
No, it's good. No, it's good. But no. But yeah, people and going out and hunting all these different states and all this, but like it's a little much. I mean, I get it. I really do. And we do it too. We go to other states and we hunt. Jeez, like give your own state a chance. I see more when I go hunting in my own state or North Dakota. I see more non-North Dakota plates out hunting than I do North Dakota plates.
That's a fact. There's more out-of-staters than there are locals.
Which, I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but if you want to spend the money and do all that, go after them. Sure, do your best, but make sure you're following the hunting bro code.
Right. Well, next week you can have your buddy Ryan on. I may or may not join you depending upon deer activity.
Yeah, Jeremy's about to go on his rutcation.
Yep.
This is where he disappears into the wilderness for 3 weeks, grows a beard, and comes back out with a big buck or a bad ankle. We don't know which one it's gonna be, but
usually both.
But no, I'll be posting that. I filmed the doe hunt. It's kind of fun. Didn't get the doe on camera because it took me 2 seconds to decide to shoot this deer. But it's going to be a good one. But thank you all for watching.
For those of you that are listening, thank you for listening.
And if you're not subscribed to us, oof.
Yeah.
Also, look at his neck already.
Yeah, look at his everything already.
He looks like you'd kill that in late November, December, how thick that boy is.
He's huge.
And we've also, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast. Before I wrap this up, I want to say one thing. A deer's main job is to be the biggest fat ass they can.
That's their job.
If that's one hint we can tell anybody. Deer trying to be a bunch of fatties, as fat as they can be. That's their only job in life. That and multiplying their population. But to all you bow hunters who are still out there hunting, I have one more tag left, but it's just another doe tag. Oops. But to all you hunters out there, good luck. Be safe in the rut. Don't be, if you're hunting public land, don't be a jerk. Follow the bro code rules. We've been over them enough. Be safe. Enjoy it. And don't be afraid to fill that tag on a nice big doe and fill that freezer. Freezer queen is what they're calling it.
They're delicious.
Delicious. That's another good one. But no, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.